Continuing to follow breaking news out of Fairfax County Police are about to hold a news conference on that shooting and stabbing that we've been covering, where 2 people are injured, and also we're told 2 people are dead.
Yeah, of course, this is a fluid situation. We're still trying to get details as to what exactly happened here. Let's listen into Fairfax County Police.
Investigators are looking into a double homicide that occurred today at the 2200 block of Pimmit Run lane. Just after 3:30 this evening, we got a call from 911 that there was a man who had been shot at the 2200 block of Pimmit Run lane. When our officers arrived, they encountered 2 people who had been shot, both adult white males. One was found deceased in the laundry room of one of the apartments. The other was in the parking lot. The second male was transported to the hospital, where he was pronounced deceased at the hospital. Also on scene were 2 juvenile victims of a stabbing. Both of those juveniles were transported to the hospital in non-life-threatening condition. And right now, our detectives are talking with the people who were on scene, the witnesses, and the people who were injured in this incident to piece together what happened. What we do know is that several of the people, all the people involved, met up here for a specific reason. We don't know what that reason is right now, but we're interviewing people to figure that out. There are some of the people that arrived here today were from outside of the county. So we're not sure what brought them all together, but we did find a backpack filled with narcotics. So that was found at the scene as well. So right now our officers, our detectives, and our crime scene detectives are piecing together what happened. They're conducting a canvass and interviewing all the witnesses. So if you have any information that we need to know, please give us a call. 703-246-7800. Our detectives want to talk to you. So with that, I'll take some questions.
Can you tell us what county those individuals were from?
So we know for sure one was from Loudoun County, and we're still piecing together what other locations the others were from.
Chief, the juveniles, were they related to the victims who are deceased right now?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the relationships between everybody, so we don't know that yet.
Chief, where do the juveniles come in? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, the juveniles are the stabbing victims, and they were transported to the hospital in non-life-threatening condition.
Are you considering the fact that the victims may also be the perpetrators of the shootings in this case? I mean, have you pieced that together yet?
Yeah, so they're victims of the injuries, the stabbings or the gunshots. I don't know who the perpetrators are. That's part of the investigation, and so that's why we're interviewing everyone who was on scene and the witnesses and the victims to figure out who did exactly what here.
Chief, how big is the investigated area? You said that one victim was found in the laundry room. Is it confined to the laundry room, spread out into the parking lot, into any units in the building?
So it's the laundry room and the parking lot just in front of that building.
A lot of wooded area around here. Has the search taken you there? Is that kind of where you're looking for maybe clues or where the suspects were? How do the wooded areas play a role in the investigation?
Yeah, and we haven't ruled anything out, so we have searched the wooded areas. We've canvassed all of the adjacent apartment complexes to gather more information and evidence.
I was told that there's an entryway there that goes directly to kind of the high school. It's kind of a known point to kind of get out of the apartment complex. Is that kind of something your investigation is indicating too?
Yeah, we've spread it out to the apartments, the trails, and the wooded area.
What are you advising folks here to do?
All right, we were listening to Fairfax County Police as they detail a very violent scene that has played out in Fairfax County. We are learning 2 people are dead. 2 others, juveniles, are stabbed. Their conditions are non-life-threatening. They're still trying to piece together what exactly happened, who exactly did this, why this happened. They know these people met up. There was a backpack full of narcotics found. A lot of details to sort out, but we're going to stay on top of this for you, bring you more details in our next hour.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at the weather on this Memorial